guys, everyone. Lax here from the Subs podcast. So we're doing our week one predictions of the game weeks. Obviously, the first game of the week will be Liverpool versus Bournemouth. My predictions would be 3-1 to Liverpool. Must admit, we probably shouldn't have played as well as we could have on the weekend. So I think we're going to go for a 3-1 victory. We've got Aston Villa versus Newcastle this weekend as well. I think that potentially has got a draw written over it. So I'm going to go 2-2. I think as much as Newcastle have had a bit of a struggling in the transfer window, I think there's still potential for the game to have a lot of goals. And now for the next game in the game week one, I've got Brighton versus Fulham. Again, I'm sorry for a board draw, but I do think perhaps it's going to be a draw on this one. I think Brighton are going to nick a 1-0 win. Unfortunately, Fulham just haven't done much in the transfer market, so I don't think they're going to have much of a struggle when it comes to a team like Brighton. Sunderland versus West Ham. This is my favorite, one of my favourite games of the weekend. I generally think Sunderland might nick a win here. I think Sunderland are definitely going to win, maybe about 2-1. I think Graham Potter's a great manager, but I just don't feel like a first game back from the Championship there's going to be such a great atmosphere at the stadium. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win with Sunderland. Spurs versus Burnley. I think Spurs showed a great showing to PSG. They did get unlucky. I'll be happy to admit that. So I think Spurs will get a 3-0 win against Burnley. Wolves versus Man City. Well, I do think Wolves, again, unfortunately, haven't really done much in the transfer market this season. So I think it's definitely got a 2-0 win for Manchester City. Sunday's games are Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. I think Nottingham Forest versus Brentford is another interesting game, considering obviously Brentford have had so many issues this summer. I think it's probably going to be a 1-0 win to Nottingham. I think Nottingham Forest have got still a very strong squad there, and I think potentially Chris Wood will still step up in a big game like this. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace. I think that's got goals written all over it, but I do think that's a Chelsea win, and I'm going to go through a 3-1. And then obviously Sunday's game is Manchester United versus Arsenal. I'm going to go for a 2-2. I think Arsenal perhaps aren't in the greatest stage to go to Old Trafford first game of the season, so I think that's going to be a 2-2 draw. And then finally Leeds versus Everton. Another game for the weekend, which shows another promoted team at home. I think Leeds are going to win that 1-0.
Game day one. Obviously Liverpool Bournemouth. This is a tough one. Under the lights, Anfield. My heart's saying 5-0, but my head is saying a 2-1. And then we got Aston Villa versus Newcastle. I think Newcastle have had quite a lot of issues so far in the summer transfer window, not being able to get players in. So I'm going for a Villa 1-0 win. And then we've got Brighton versus Fulham. Fulham, towards the end of the season, were playing some great football. So I think they are, away from home, 2-0 winners against Brighton. And then Sunderland, West Ham. Again, Sunderland have just been promoted. It seems like the buzz is there. It's going to be a hot, sunny day. The fans are going to be excited for the season ahead. So I'm going for a 2-1 Sunderland win against the Hammers. Spurs and Burnley. Spurs have had quite a tough Super Cup loss in midweek. So I'm not sure how that's affected the team going forward this week. They're trying to get some signings in. They're at home. Maybe that means there's more pressure. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw after leading 1-0. Wolves and City. I'm hoping Wolves can do a job over on Man City because it's the first day, the first game. The fans are going to be there. The Wolf Pack will be ready. So I'm hoping for a 1-0 win to Wolves. Forest and Brentford. I think Forest have done some really good business of late and getting quite a few signings in. Brentford, on the other hand, have got Kellner in, so possibly that could work in our favour. But let's see. I think Forest will go 2-0. 2-0 to Forest against Brentford. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. It's a Chelsea win, hands down. And then United, Arsenal. Ideally, a 0-0 draw and a bore fest will be great. But if I had to pick a winner, maybe United, 1-0. Leeds versus Everton. I think Leeds will do it, 2-0. I think Grealish will have a big say in the game, but I don't think it will be enough because Leeds will be playing at home under the atmosphere. Ellen Road's just going to have something cooking, so yeah, they'll win that game. So that's my week one match day predictions. Up the Reds.
Hi there everybody, it's Ryan from the Subs podcast here, and I'm going to be telling you what game on the weekend you guys should be looking forward to other than Liverpool versus Bournemouth, obviously. So I think the game of the weekend will probably be Arsenal versus United. So I think it might be a tight 2-2. Arsenal, yeah, they will get two late goals against Man United. And that's my prediction for Arsenal, Man United versus Arsenal. And I think that will be game of match day 1 for you guys to watch.